My name is Vijay Iyer. I'm a composer and pianist and improviser and electronic musician. We're at my house here in Harlem. This has become my studio or something like it. Luckily the piano fit through here. It's a Steinway S that's we've had since my sister was in high school. It was her piano back then in the 80s. It actually has ivory on it, which is kind of grim. It's sort of like I learned to play on this piano, so it's nice to have it here. We've had it in New York since we moved here 15 years ago. My first instrument was the violin, and I started when I was age 3. But my earliest musical memory is from around that time, but it's not on the violin. My sister, who's older, a few years older, she started piano at the same time, and so we had a little spinet piano in the house. And I just remember as a kid doing this improvised duet with her. We were just banging on it basically and making the thing shake. It reminded me of when you're on a swing set as a kid and you swing so high that the thing starts to kind of almost tip over. We sort of did that to the piano. So that's sort of one of my earliest memories of doing music. The biggest influence on my music is the history of jazz and African American music and culture. And that's come from apprenticing with elder musicians from that lineage and heritage. It's come from studying that vast archive of knowledge. It's come from being among people in that community. Well, these are two favorites of mine. So this is Robin Kelly's incredible biography of Thelonious Monk. Thelonious Monk is my favorite musician and composer of all time. He was a very pivotal artist for me. He kind of helped me figure out what I was doing. I've just learned so much from his music, from listening to it, dissecting it, from watching him play. His approach to rhythm and sound and melody and the way he would be in the moment. Then there's this book, A History of Hip Hop, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Then this is, to me, a landmark book in many ways. Also by a friend of mine, George Lewis, A Power Stronger Than Itself, the AACM and American Experimental Music. It's brilliant because it has elements of oral history, and it's also weaves in a lot of critical theory and sociology and musicology. It kind of brings it all together. It's pretty brilliant. Those are three kind of pretty landmark books that I'm happy to have here on the show. This is a percussion instrument from India. It's like a folk percussion instrument, and it's extremely loud, as you see. I'm also very influenced by the music of my heritage, particularly South Indian or Carnatic music, as it's called, which is sort of a classical music of India. There's some deities here. My mother gave most of these to me. It's the sort of thing that Indian households end up gathering. My parents used to have a sort of shrine at home. It was like a small altar to the gods, and that's common. So this isn't anything close to that, but it's something. That reminds me of who I am or where I came from. Ganesh is the remover of obstacles, so maybe it makes life easier somehow. The walls are blank because I haven't had time to hang up anything in 2 years. That's basically what it's been like. The best I could do was put that picture of Monk on top of an air filter. So I actually kind of like not having too much to look at or think about, because I have plenty to think about and plenty bouncing around in my head all the time anyway. So it's nice to sort of stare at a blank wall sometimes. That said, I've been trying to I hope to buy some art, particularly art by other South Asian Americans. And I have my eye on a few pieces and a few artists, so Maybe I'll finally become a grown-up, hang up some things.